Good morning, and welcome to another show. It's early in the morning. I just woke up, obviously washed my face and brushed my teeth. But here's the thing: how am I feeling today is the most important thing. So as I'm searching my feelings, I just feel, I feel a little bit of anxiety this morning. I don't feel much like interacting today with people. Mm, I don't know. Maybe I need to do a little exercise to get back on track. I talk about the trifecta, which is the three win race, and it's symbolic for your three selves, and um, that's the emotional, the physical, and the cognitive, which is the thinking. All three have to be maintained to move forward. So before I walk out that door this morning, I got to get them together. So far, so good. I had to wash my face first. Then I went in there. I did a little collagen powder. Uh, I also did probiotic and some kelp. Those are tablets. It was all good for the intestines, especially with pandemic going on. Quote unquote. Um, I wasn't taught to search my feelings as a child. I had a parent that wasn't taught right, and so she just reprojected all the bad parenting skills into my sister and I, and I don't blame her for it, nor do I blame her parents, my mother's parents. I just know it's just a miseducation. Uh, we need to re-educate the parents and teach them. Open the door, knock on the door, and just I wish sometime my mom would ask me how I was feeling, and then she could have helped me manage those feelings. However, I had to figure out how to manage those feelings probably 30 years later, and I'm still learning. One of the things is if you're living in the home with, your co-housing is what I call it, with your spouse, girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, roommate. You have to become familiar with boundaries and feelings and know. And it's all right to ask, like, how are you feeling today? And they'll let you know. I just don't feel like being bothered. Okay, then to kind of bag off a little bit. And then you ask them questions. Is there anything that I need to assist you or help you get through your day where it will be better? And they'll let you know. Um, I didn't have that growing up, you know. And so I try to ask my friends now, what's up, man? How you doing, man? You all right? And they'll let you know. And then if it's something that you can assist them with, mostly your ear, they call it validation. I guess that's the word I was looking for. I didn't get validation growing up. So you wasn't able to express like your feelings or whatever, And you learn these things as you go along, especially a lot of the people I grew up with, where we come from, our communication values and skills are they're terrible. You include me, terrible. I'm learning. I don't know how to be a father, a good father. I don't know how to be a good communicator. I'm learning these things, And I noticed that it takes maintenance, right? And maintenance, what that means is it has to be worked on daily. And I'm not perfect. I say things sometimes that I don't mean to say. Temperament is everything, and that's been one of my Achilles heels is to not get angry. To control my anger and lower the level of anger, right? And this takes maintenance, because you don't want to say something or do something that's gonna hurt your equity. I say equity. They use equity for homes, like houses or whatever. But what about your spiritual equity, right? The value of it, right? When you raise the equity, you raise the value. How about raising the value on your spirit, right? and you become resilient when you start building these strengths, right? And so, like I said, my mom, man, she would come in sometime and she wouldn't even notice that I could be depressed. I remember a time I was in junior high school, and one of my girlfriends, she we broke up, and so I was hurt behind that. I was in the room listening to all those Jodeci's and Prince. At the time, Prince had the Signs of Time, and them songs that he was coming with, they was real depressing, like real depressing, and it was pain. It was pain beyond comprehension, right? At that age, I could have been about 11, 12. For a child that age, that type of pain, having a boyfriend or a girlfriend, at that age, it hurts, and so I didn't know how to express, Mama, I'm hurt, like I'm really hurt, and I don't know which way to go. Now, most kids go to suicides, most people. So my way of venting, for me, I took it out in the streets, right? I would go do stuff because I was hurting, and it was almost suicidal when you're out there in that gang culture and you angry and you got all these feelings going on inside of you and you don't know how to manage them or sort them out or even have somebody just listen to you and say, you know what, it's all right to feel that way, but you don't have the right to self-destruct. I wish I would have had somebody let me know that my new girlfriend was coming 3 months, letting you know, hey, there's enough fish in the sea, so you can feel a little better, And so this is the thing, even with your children, I'm just speaking to all the parents, you want to get in really, really in tune with that. You also, as adults, we want to, because we got some, now remember, age is just a number. I'm almost 48. Say a child turning 13 to 14. It's mandatory we change these numbers. However, growing up is an option. Okay? Let me show you what I mean. You can have a 15-year-old young man that's more mature than a 50-year-old man, right? Let me show you what I mean. He's getting up. He has a job permit. He's working. You see him behind the counters of Carl's Jr., McDonald's, El Pollo Loco. He's working, right? He's going to school. He's handling his responsibility. Now you take a 50-year-old man or somebody my age. I'm 47. So, and I'm hanging out on the corners with my pants falling off my butt, right? It says, a man that acts as though he's 15 at 30 has wasted 15 years of his life. So if I'm hanging on the corner at 30 and I started gangbanging at 15, I'm still behaving like that 15-year-old. So this 15-year-old that's handling his responsibilities is actually more mature than the 30-year-old. So that's what I mean by that. So growing up is an option. So now here it is. Grown-ups have to be retrained as well, right? And we have to treat the grown-up just like the child at times, right? Because we don't know where they're at in their growth process, right? I call it the late blooming syndrome. Some people have become responded at early ages, right? And so they learn how to manage their emotion, right? Their emotion. To manage these emotions, it takes a emotional maturity, right? You have to be mature in that area, but it takes building, right? And that's why I suggest all parents go out and buy your children Lego. It teaches them how to build and it teaches them how to problem solve, right? I didn't get Legos growing up. I wish I had. Now I understand the significance of it because you can be frustrating trying to build something that you're cognitively imagining, right? So it takes a cognitive imagination to sort all these things out, right? So let me show you. I'm trying to modulate my feelings, right? And so within that, I have to take a special imagination. Like, for instance, when I get angry now, I have to modulate down to see what's important to me. And sometimes it's just on a small level. I'll be like, oh, Carl, don't get mad. Because I get mad and I hit this dude. I ain't gonna get this brand new car, and they like, damn, car, something, but it's just something to grab a hold to. So I have to use my imagination to regulate and sort some of this stuff out because it's toxic. And for me, it took about, I don't know, 30 plus years to build up this toxic endeavor, right? And I'm still just learning. I'm still getting it. I still have lapses in judgment. I might have said something to a person out of anger. And then, later on down the line, you look at it and you're like, Carl, I shouldn't have said that, And then the biggest thing is to go back to that person and say, whether they accept your apology or not. And that hurts too when you're rejecting. Rejection is, but you have to learn how to manage that feeling of rejection. You have to learn how to manage the feeling when somebody just tell you no. I wasn't taught to accept no and balance it as just a yes, right? And you feel some kind of way because all you want is yes, 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 right? And then when you hear no, 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 that's when the anger, that's when the anxiety sets in. I call it the esteem. The esteem kicks in, right? And a lot of us, I come from where we have low self-esteem. Now, a lot of people get fresh and say, but that's just recompensation for what in essence truly is. And for me, I dressed up and I was fresh, but I had low self-esteem. Growing up, the quality of women, right? A lot of us pick qualities of partners that's not up to standard, right? Emotionally and mentally, which could be a form of self-esteem because you feel you can't do no better. Right? And that's because our parents, we reprojected what they did. We seen our parents just, you just pick any old kind of guy and bring him in the house. My mom, she was a beautiful woman, right? But I don't think she knew that because of the quality of men, all with the exception of one. But the quality of men was very, very low in self-esteem, right? And it was like $2 versus $100, right? Not saying that they couldn't have raised themselves and their emotions up to that. I'm just saying where they were at in the level of who they were at that time in their process. So now, okay, all these things trace way back down to what I'm trying to tell you guys is get in tune with your kids, get in tune with your spouse, because interaction on higher levels, asking questions, becoming familiar with boundaries, right? Loving, love is effort. I learned that from my mentor, Ruben Ledesma, and there was a leadership course, and he said that, and I was taken by it. I was like, wow, that's deep. So the effort, you guys put effort into your interactions, you put effort into your daily feeling, but it starts with you. Like I'm starting with myself this morning. I was a bit off balance this morning. And so now I'm trying to find that balance, right? And the more I'm talking on these shows, the more I'm learning. I'm learning. This is a process. This is how I'm healing as well. Because as you all know, I've suffered abuse. My mom, she suffered abuse, right? And she couldn't read or write. I say that again. That must be really, really frustrating to you get older and you can't even help yourself, especially when your kids become older and they get their own lives. So I can't imagine how she feels, right? So let me show you what I mean. I know she loves the Lord, right? And she loves the Lord and she speaks upon the Bible, but she can't actually go inside of it to receive whatever knowledge is that she needs, right? And I can understand that could be a bit frustrating, and this is why she behaves the way she behaves. Now, how do we help that? How do we help that? First, she has to be willing. She has to be willing to change, right? So fans, you have to be willing to change first in order for these things that we talk about, we're going to be talking about, to actually manifest, and as well to help me. And so this is no, I'm not a guru, I'm not a doctor. I'm just telling you the challenges that I face daily, coming from where I come from, some of my story, right? Most of this is my story, and some of the things that I'm working, goals and avenues that I'm working toward to change, and tomorrow's not promised. So I want the reprojection to come off like, man, that dude Ray, you shining. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be lackluster in spirit no more. A lot of people are lackluster in that area, right? And lackluster means you lack shine. Luster means shine. Lack means it's not there. So I want luster now, right? Let's shine. And with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's show. I have a lot more. It's not scripted. I don't write this stuff. It's all from my spiritual perspective. And some things I'm layman to, some things I'm not. And the reason is because of what I call experience. And you all share that too. So, pick up the YouTube channel, man. Subscribe. Let's talk about some things, right? Hit me up. Let me know how you feel, how I made you feel. Maybe it was something I said that I shouldn't have said. Maybe it was something that I could have done a little better. Let's work toward this experience of change, right? And thank you for subscribing.